A YouTuber who exposed dangerous healthcare workers is now the one being sentenced and fined. A rapper is arrested as a murder suspect in a case that may have been engineered to silence him. A creator gets 7 copyright strikes in 48 hours for supporting the original artist of a stolen franchise. And a Twitch streamer literally exposed her own view-botting by accident. The system is not broken, the system is working exactly as designed. For the people at the top, this is FameFail, and today we go through every single case. Here's the core question driving today's video. What happens when you can't trust institutions, platforms, critics, or even the people you watch every day? What happens when the people doing legitimate exposure work get punished while the people they're exposing walk free? What happens when false accusations can destroy someone's entire life before a single fact is verified? We're answering all of it today. 9 cases, 9 different ways the system fails the people it's supposed to protect. If this is your first time here, subscribe right now and hit the bell. This channel documents what nobody else wants to say out loud. Let's go. Chapter 1. Unknowingly. Accusations, mental health collapse, and the damage that stays. Let's open with a case that genuinely illustrates how catastrophic, false or unverified accusations have become as a weapon on the internet. Unknowingly, the creator behind The Man in the Suit became the center of a controversy involving allegations that to this day remain unverified. Nobody knows with certainty whether they were true or fabricated. What is documented is the outcome. A person so overwhelmed by the volume of hate, the speed of the pile-on, and the complete absence of any support structure that they reached a suicidal breaking point. There were public statements, there was community panic, there was a follow-up confirming he was alive. Chapter 2. The German YouTuber sentenced for exposing real wrongdoing. Now flip it completely. Same ecosystem, opposite outcome. A German YouTuber spent significant time and effort documenting healthcare workers who were live streaming while on shift, neglecting patients, missing emergency alarms, and using their work time to build streaming careers. This is not manufactured controversy, this is documented endangerment of vulnerable people. He published the evidence, he named the people, he did what investigative journalism is supposed to do. He was sentenced, fined 10,000 euros. This is the pattern that keeps repeating in every country, across every platform. The cost of exposure falls on the exposer. The infrastructure of power, legal, corporate, institutional, roots consequences away from the people who created the problem and toward the people making the problem visible. Knowing this, understanding this completely, creators still do this work. That's either inspiring or a say of how badly the rest of the system has failed. Chapter 3. David, the arrest, murder minors and the framing theory. D4VD, the rapper, arrested as the primary suspect in a case connected to Celeste, a situation that has been developing with new information surfacing in fragments. The details that are confirmed: he's arrested, he is the named suspect, and there's a documented history of a relationship with a minor that may have provided motive for a cover-up. What remains genuinely unclear, and this matters, is whether this is what it appears to be, or whether, as some observers have argued, this is someone being positioned as a convenient suspect by people with more power and better lawyers who needed the actual story to disappear. Whether this specific case fits that pattern is something that will only become clear over time. But the fact that the theory is immediately credible to so many people watching this situation is itself a verdict on how much trust remains in the institutions supposed to deliver justice. Chapter 4. Roblox pays $12.5 million and nothing changes. Roblox reached a settlement with the state of Nevada, $12.5 million. The 10 million direct settlement, 2.5 million toward age verification systems, in response to documented failures to protect children on the platform. $12.5 million sounds significant until you understand Roblox's revenue scale. This is not a consequence, this is a cost of doing business. It is the price of continuing to operate with inadequate moderation systems, inadequate human oversight, and a platform architecture that has been exploited to harm children repeatedly and consistently. The settlement requires age verification implementation, the same AI-based verification system that has been documented banning innocent accounts at scale with no functional appeals process. The cure and the disease are the same algorithm. Creecraft, then Roblox's most prominent creator advocate, reacted to the Nevada situation with visible discomfort. When the platform's biggest ambassador can't find enthusiasm for the company's response to a child safety settlement, you've already lost the narrative. Chapter 5. Skibidi Toilet Corporate War on its own community. The Skibidi toilet situation has escalated from content drama into something that looks a lot like corporate legal warfare against an independent creator community. Iron Cameraman, not a creator who publicly supported Dafuk Boom, the original creator of Skibidi Toilet, against Invisible Narratives, the company that controls the IP, received 7 copyright strikes in 48 hours. 7. His channel is on the edge of permanent deletion. Other creators who voiced support for the original artist have been similarly targeted. The ask from the community has been simple: allow Dafuk Boom to make one statement about a situation. 1. Invisible Narratives has refused. Instead, they are deploying copyright strike campaigns against community members who are documenting the dispute. This is what legal weaponization of platform systems looks like in practice. Copyright strikes were designed to protect creators from having their work stolen. The tool built for protection is being used as a weapon of suppression, and YouTube systems, as always, process the strike first and ask questions never. Chapter 6. The Quartering, Extra Emily, Marlowe and the Fraud Factory. The Quartering versus Kino Casino. Jeremy Hambley was caught stealing video content from other creators, repurposing it as his own, and when confronted, rather than acknowledging it, escalated into a spiral of cope, family drama, and increasingly unhinged public behavior. Kino Casino won this one clearly. The fact that it took this long and that the Quartering channel was still pulling audiences throughout is its own commentary on how long you can operate as a content thief before accountability arrives. Marlowe, the #1 ranked Minecraft player, exposed as a fraud. Cheating allegations, AI voice accusations, the complete unraveling of a competitive gaming identity built on deception. His response video was debunked almost immediately. He then proceeded to nuke the competitive tier list system he had been part of, seemingly out of spite. The face reveal that accompanied some of this was described by observers as disturbing. The entire arc, from celebrated champion to documented fraud to scorched earth response, happened in public in real time with full receipts. Extra Emily, viewbotting on Twitch, and not caught by an external investigation, caught because the evidence surfaced through her own activity in a way that made denial impossible. Artificially inflated viewer numbers to attract sponsorships and platform positioning that she hadn't earned organically. This is fraud against advertisers, fraud against the platform, and fraud against every creator who built their numbers legitimately and competed fairly for the same partnerships. Mr. Beast suing Arden Ross over the Team Water drama is the latest chapter in what has become a full industry civil war. Creators who built their brands on collaboration and mutual support are now in active legal conflict. The parasocial warmth of the YouTube family narrative has curdled into something that requires attorneys. And Hassan accidentally admitting something he'd spent considerable effort denying on stream, in real time, then crashing out at his own audience when they noticed. The irony of a political commentary creator being undone by the same lack of accountability he criticizes in others is not lost on anyone paying attention. The person exposing healthcare endangerment pays 10,000 euros. The healthcare workers keep their jobs. The rapper gets arrested in circumstances that remain suspicious. The platform pays a fine it can absorb without changing behavior. The copyright system gets weaponized against the people it was built to protect. The fraud runs until it accidentally exposes itself. IGN rates Mouse PI. A genuinely crafted, creative, original game, lower than generic titles that cost 10 times more to make and delivered a fraction of the artistry. The critics with institutional platforms cannot be trusted. The community user scores, the grassroots documentation, the creators working with no safety net, those are the honest signals now. FameFail exists because someone needs to keep the receipts organized. Drop a comment with the case that made you the most angry today. And subscribe, because this channel is not done, and neither is the internet's capacity to surprise us with new lows.